biodiversity plan. Indian.
Morning, sir.
Good morning.
Morning, sir. Good morning.
Namaste. Good morning, Murthy sir. Namaste.
Can we start, sir?
Yeah, please.
Okay, yes, sir. Good morning to you all. On behalf of the Department of Commerce, Madagappa University, I have great pleasure and privilege to welcome our Honorable Professor Dr. S. Srinivasa Raghavan sir, Professor in the Department of Library Science, to this great occasion. I welcome you, sir. Professor has a rich experience in research. Professor has published 66 publications. Professor has presented the paper in 81 conferences. Then Professor has Achieved 5, the great Achieved. The Professor has heightened index 4, and sir has got 111 citations. And sir has Professor has completed 3 projects. And sir has got an award, received National Best Librarian Award 2017 for significant contribution in library information profession from Madras Library Association on the occasion of 125th birth anniversary celebration of Padma Shri Dr. S. R. Ranganathan held at IIT Madras. Then the professor has received the National Best Librarian Award by Indian Academic Library Association, Bangalore, in the year 2006. And Sir acted as member in Doctoral Research Committee, Department Library Information Science, Bharat University. Then Sir has acted as academic council member, Bishop Heber College. Then academic council member, Raja Sarfoji Government Autonomous College. Then Board of Studies member in University of Mysore, Bangalore University, Bharatiya University, Bharatidasan University, Adagappa University, Karunya University, Periyar University. And Sir is member in Madurai Kamaraj University, Tamil University, Tanjore, the Rajagiri College of Social Sciences, Cochin, Holy Cross College, Gandhigram Rural Institute, Tiruvallur University. Then Sir is acted as a reviewer for the program of Bachelor of Arts, Arts in Library and Information Science for the Open University of Sri Lanka during 3rd to 17th December 2017. And Professor acted as expert committee member for selection of library professionals for various higher educational institutions. Then Professor acted as member in various question paper settings of TNPSC examination and UGC NET examination. Then Sir acted as NAC member, National Assessment Accreditation Council member, and member coordinator for various universities and colleges. Then Professor has acted as Swayam coordinator, the great Swayam coordinator. And Sir has acted as university coordinator for Ek Bharat, Suraksa Bharat, and life member in various organizations. Once again, on behalf of Department of Commerce and ICSR Sponsored Program Organizing Committee, I would like to welcome our Honorable Professor to this great session. I welcome you, sir. On behalf of Department of Commerce, Adagappa University, I would like to welcome our valuable participants to this great session. I welcome you. Once again, I welcome you all. Now, may I request our Honorable Professor, Dr. S. Srinivasa Raghavan, sir, to deliver a special address. Please, sir, welcome, sir.
Thank you, Professor. So I can go up to 1 o'clock?
Sir.
The time schedule. Up to 1 o'clock I can go?
Yes, sir. 1 o'clock, sir. 11:30 we can have a break for 10 minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes. Okay, no problem.
Thank you, sir. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Professor. At the outset, I extend my heartfelt and sincere thanks to Professor Gurumurthy, honest man above all his capabilities. We all know very well an established professor in commerce and business management studies. And really, we are fortunate to have this Siva Bhaktas, whether our former Vice Chancellor Manisankar sir or the present Vice Chancellor Professor Selvam and the Gurumurthy sir, all they were very pious persons and very honest, and they do have all kind of disciplinary practices. So that is what we learned from that seniors. And thanks for giving an opportunity, and also my sincere gratitude to Naya Murthy from the Department of Commerce who is coordinating, and my welcome to all the participants, the faculty members. So the topic which is assigned to me today is on e-library resources services. That is a very comprehensive term, and it includes all. E-library is nothing but what physically library is there. So there are large libraries, particularly the social scientists, and libraries laboratory for all of them. And even during my PhD days in the early 90s and my post-graduation days in Madurai Kamaraj University, many they used to use library. And afterwards, I got appointment in Abhiman College of Engineering, where also I could find all the seats they filled, and many times they used to wait and they come and use the library during those days. And now, because of the advancement of technology and the libraries at reach to the end users, so not necessarily that they have to visit the library physically, and they can access all the resources at their handheld devices, maybe a palm top or maybe a laptop or mobile, whatever it may be. So across the globe, you all know very well that internet and digital communication, it has made a sea change in terms of all subject practices. It may be of medicine, or it may be of science, or it may be of industry. And you all know very well that industry 4.0 that is emerging, and even our social scientists, particularly economists and the commerce faculty members, also have to familiarize with this kind of emerging concepts, because you know all very well aware that after engineering or after even medicine and after science, they need to be in the helm of affairs. Actually, they need to manage a large set of services and products, and they need to have that knowledge of business management and also the people management and all aspects of management, knowledge management or operations or whatever it may be. So in that way, management is the core subject, whether it is higher education or it is science and technology or it is engineering or any subject disciplinary to hospital management. You can say that that belong to all subjects. So that way, management faculty also need to much familiarize with all this technological advancement and happenings that is prevailing over the different subject fields, and accordingly the ICT usage is become imminent for each and everyone. So in that way, just the topic which is suggested to me to demonstrate the library resources and services. Let me divide my session. The first session, let me also give an orientation. Though already all senior faculty members, you come across everything, and now some of the things are some of the information which is known to me as a library head and as a library faculty for this many years. Let me just share some of the perception, and in between also you can stop me and you can ask any clarifications if you want, instead of going monotonous one side this the presentation. And I am finding some issues in sharing my. I'm just trying to share my PPT, and we all become structured. So it is taking some time. Anyway, today there are two aspects. One is on scholarly information resources, that it may be of a book or it may be of a journal article or it may be of thesis dissertation or it may be of a course material or whatever it may be, and that is available in electronic format from various sources, digital format, and the faculty and researchers can access across the globe from anywhere at any time. And the other point is about scholarly communication, because being a researcher, we need to reproduce, and the scholarly communication is very much important. So in that way, the scholarly communication, I don't know, just a minute, I'm just sharing my PPT. I'm trying. So can you see my PowerPoint?
Sir, visible, sir. Visible, sir.
It is visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So the scholarly communication is very much important. But it's that at this juncture, being a young faculty members, you are all attending this national workshop. It is particularly aimed for the research outcome and the overall performance of your academic proceedings. So it is also we need to update that the systems which are very much available, scholarly information systems and scholarly communication systems, and that can be accessed through this technology. And particularly the young faculty members and the early career researchers, they should familiarize of all those information systems, and they need to be part of that information system. You know very well Jim O'Reilly, you might have heard about his name, and he is the stalwart and pioneer of this Web 2.0, and he made the web as interactive and participative, because earlier it was static, and they were all very much concerned when particularly this millennium issue came, and they really worked hard and strive forward, and they made a revolutionary change in the internet and the web world. So later on, lot of technologies, integrating the internet with any devices, and particularly this videography, which made streaming of the live programs and multimedia, all those things. So Tim O'Reilly, we would acknowledge, being information, being a commerce and business management faculty, that how this IT industry that has its own role determining all our economic aspects. It's applicable to the developed nations like the US or other UK and the France, or the developing nations like India and other nations. So you know very well. So it also yield for the past continuous, particularly during this regime of this Congress, more than 2 decades, they could regime GDP nearly 8% they are maintaining. That is because of that IT enabled services and products, we become very strong in that, and that yield, and now also they are maintaining. Okay, so all those things may just highlight about the impact of this technology, particularly integrating that technology in teaching learning aspects, and particularly after this COVID-19 pandemic condition, and we are all bound to familiarize with these resources, being a teacher community, and we need to address to the students, and that limitation we got to overcome, and there is no other way. So we need to make use, and of course, you might have considered a lot of teacher tube, library tube, but research tube like that, the different versions of YouTube. So now every individual they starting their own YouTube, but they are also making money just by simply videographing and through their the routine social activities and all other proceedings, and people are habituated to watch all those things. Okay, anyway, let me come to this today's topic, that's scholarly communication. See, scholarly communication is very much imminent, and since from our college days and even school days, I would say that whatever the project or any painting or the drawing, whatever we could reproduce based on the instructions given by the teachers, that is one good example of this scholarly communication. We can say, though it is not widely published as a journal article, and it is being circulated among the universities and colleges, and also becoming popular across the nation and the globe. But any product, it may be of a dissertation, or it may be of a course material, or it may be of the lecture given by a teacher, or a protocol, or you can say welfare models, that flow charts, working models, and working papers, any data or table. So all those things we can get into the comprehensive terminology, that's scholarly communication. So it's nothing but describing original research itself to communicate new scientific findings. It has to be clear, simple, and well ordered. It gives the sense in the few short words. So PS can repeat the experiments and test the conclusion, access observation, repeat experiments, evaluate the intellectual process, all those things. So scholarly communication, the very purpose is to preserve the knowledge for the posterity. So the libraries are social organizations. They preserve different forms of documents. That documents recorded the human civilization over a period of time, and that need to be made available and preserved for access to the future generation. That way, we save and protect the knowledge for the posterity. So there is what many purposes of this scholarly communication. And since from the beginning, actually, the journal published by Royal Society of UK in 1870s, and the first journal, till that journal is continuing, and it has come across different forms. Now it is in digital form as an information system, and articles structure the same. You might have come across that Imrad story, introduction, method, results, and discussions. So many scientific communication channels, the publication channels, the leading impact factor channels, they all follow, and there is applicable to social sciences also. And even you can or you can take the thesis or any the form of scholarly communication other than data sets and exclusive forms like patterns or standards. For the text-based scholarly communication, this is the structure, and it starts with abstract and title. Title also has to be coined properly, and it should attract and it should yield, and there should not be any the confusion or the cumbersome terminologies. And whatever the title we are saying, you all studied in your choice of research problem and formulation of research problem, that the choice and the formulation, when a researcher give much attention and spend a good quality time on coining his topic, and also choosing the relevance to the field and to the institution or to his own individual benefit, definitely he can further plan and continue on sail across to complete his research in a more successful manner. So the title, it should be of concisely, and it also reflect the content of the article or the work, and adequately describe the contents, because indexing and abstracting depend on this title. So when the title is coined properly, and there is more chance of the result visibility also. And the abstract, of course, even when we are submitting our PhD and we are asking our scholars to submit our PhD, so only after everything is over, we need to prepare that abstract. That abstract should completely give the focus, scopus, the scope and the context in which the research is carried out, and also the materials which are used and the major areas. It may be of geographical area, or it may be of a particular subject domain, specific domain, which is emphasized upon by that research, and also the outcome of that research. All those things, even some of the important analytical methods and tools used by the researcher, that need to be highlighted. That abstract should not be a monotonous one. It should completely, as a trailer or a teaser, it should completely reveal, disseminate the thought content, and the evaluator or the researcher, after going through the abstract, they will get attracted and they will try to access the full text thesis. So that's what the abstract need to be get prepared. And even many publications, they are much concerned about that abstract. So when the abstract is prepared in a more relevant and meaningful, and also the language context and the technology context, subject context, definitely that paper may get the chance to accepted in impact factor journals. Introduction, you all know very well. I just don't want to go into detail. That introduction, it should also provide context and the rationale for the study. And many times, people, particularly in scientific and scholarly communication, even you might have come across EPW and other the social science journals, many the commerce and business management journals, international journals, Emerald database, many, they give a lot of the text citation references to make the introduction, completely giving picture about that context. And finally, based on all those context, the author or the researcher, he might have throw only very few lines, 3 to 4 lines about introduction. So that is what that should take the researcher to continue that further and further the thought content documentary in the research article. And materials, it describe the experimental design, so it is reproducible, and the methodology, the experimental procedure. Normally in science, they also, the plan of work they call, actually the methodology may not be very big topics in scientific communication. Even in scholarly communication, particularly the journal articles, that has to be described in a nutshell, and objectively it should highlight the appropriate relevant method, which is though we adopt a range of methods, maybe sometimes we have to adopt the survey observation and interview schedule, and also the questionnaire, even personal visit. So we need to highlight. So where the context of these tools or the method which we use, it's going to be helpful for our particular research. Summarizing the findings and without interpretation. Normally the results only this annotation or the interpretation we can say, and then discussions always the contextual the outcome which is correlated with the earlier studies, and also the inferences made up of the data which is tabulated. So with the own perception of the researcher and by comparing that with the other publications, so the results also many times you can find or you can integrate the earlier research outcome. So in that way, the discussion also very much relevant and important, and that summaries the findings finally based on the different variables, and the variables also which are very much important. Generally, the social variables, not necessarily male, female, or the faculty, professor, or the student like that, but we need to take care of the other core variables which is relevant to that particular research or that subject. So this is what the structure of any scientific scholarly communication, because journal articles are always in the databases more than 80% of the literature even today that is being carried out in the form of the journal article. That's what I could given here. Sometimes these materials and the results, methods and results, they call it as experimental section, and results and discussion, they call it as results and discussion section. This is what the formal structure of any impact factor journals scholarly communication model. Just I would like to highlight on that. And early journals, they normally publish descriptive papers. Still, they use case reports, geological surveys, etc. And whenever we go for NAC and all, we used to ask the articles actually. Some are research papers and some are reviews, some are short communications. EPW and Economist and many other popular the commerce and economics, social science magazine and research journals. You could have find even science and current science. I can also quote and university news. You might have come across. You see a lot of short communication used to be there, and maybe about a particular article or about a particular emerging concept. Many times it's like that Hindu editors communication. Normally they used to be very much impressive and attractive. So that is one form. Not necessarily that you want to be published serious research. And many times when you access other resources, and you can also give your own perceptions based on the actual state of that particular topic or particular trend which is prevailing in your subject area. So there are generic aspects also. There is not communication. Then review articles. Then review articles, many times science faculty really they may find hard to publish their publications in highly impact factor journals. But they may get a chance for the review article because they will go through the research outcome published in different forms of the scholarly communication, maybe journal article or conference papers, or maybe thesis dissertation, or maybe book chapters, and they will give a trend of that particular research, which is spread across the globe, different organizations, and that review articles get chance, and there are annual reviews on the database there. I will highlight in my presentation, and that collect reviews in all subjects. So in that review articles also another method of scholarly communication. So that way the review articles, then the descriptive papers, and also the research papers. These are all the different types. The second half of 19th century, the reproducibility of experiments became a fundamental principle of philosophy of science. Because any science, not only science, even social science also, when we are carrying out research that need to get reproduced. Of course, you can carry out purchase behavior or consumer behavior of the electronic households in Karaikudi, and what are the variables which use that need to be applied to the Trichy end users, and that same may be applicable to the Beijing, or the same may be applicable to the London or whatever it may be. So that way, the variables and the experiment which you are carrying out, that should be replicable. So the research core is that reproducibility of the research, so that everyone can check and they can also verify and they can learn and they can adapt if it is really giving a good yields and results. So the later on the method section they become important, and finally this Imrad story. So just how this Imrad story developed, that's what I would like to make a point. So already we have told that Imrad, I just don't want to go into very detail. And scholarly communication, ACRL, American, this American Association of College and Research Library, they have given a definition. The system through which research and other scholarly writings are created, evaluated for quality, disseminated to the scholarly community, and preserved for future use. The system includes both formal means of communication, such as publication in peer-reviewed journals, informal channels, such as electronic lists of group sources, frequently defined or depicted as a life cycle documenting the steps involved in the creation, publication, dissemination, discovery of piece of scholarly research. So I given here that definition also. So any creation or publication, dissemination, and discovery of a piece of scholarly, that's what as I already mentioned. So being a researcher, we need to make access not only to the final outcome of the research report or journal article, but also the various stages of the life cycle. that need to be made available. That's what the very purpose of this open science, open research, and open knowledge. It is coming up. And being a social scientist, we all come across the citizen science or the community of science and community of practice, community colleges. So it all integrated now in digital scholarly communication platform. So we will just look into that. Just a minute. Excuse me. So already told about scholarly communication. So I just don't want to emphasize much on. This is a social phenomenon. See, it is not that we are being academic and we want to have this API or score for whatever they are asking. Even for vice chancellor position and other positions that they need to convene some academic conferences or programs and publish this many articles, this many books above all their academic experience. So the scholarly communication always being an integral part in the academic arena. So, but that is not alone. It's social phenomenon. Being a teacher, being a researcher, particularly working in colleges, universities, higher education, we need to definitely make our trend by documenting some of our contribution, because research is incremental. We may not make revolutionary change, but at the same time, it is also our responsibility to highlight whatever we learned and also integrate and imbibe those practices and those findings and those knowledge, and also generate a new form of knowledge. So there is very much important. There is also our responsibility. So this is what this scholarly communication is a social phenomenon where by intellectual creativity is passed from one scholar to another scholar. And scientific experiment is incomplete unless it is published and familiarized. So whatever the information for social scientists, library is a laboratory where they access different resources and they take it to different dimensions and they apply those the theories for their field and their area and their objects for their study, but that need to be communicated to the peers and other scientific community. And also now they are asking it has to be made as a public good, and even open access and open science, European Commission and this Third World Academy of Sciences, and also the many scientific forums and even UN organizations, they wanted to keep everything in public domain, because the research is funded to the academic researchers and also the research organizations out of the public money. Even they are encouraging the research, the industries also like Philips or Samsung or any the automobile giants, they all have to contribute for the research that is corporate social responsibility, and that also need to be made available in the public good. So they were also working on a lot of their working papers and their the research outcome which they made. All the companies, maybe of food industry or pharmaceutical industry or automobile industry or electronic consumable industry, whatever it may be, and even AIMA and the CA like organizations also integrating to generate and create the publications and the content, and that is made available in their respective organizations websites and the digital repositories. So that is what the background of the scholarly communication. And of course, vast majority do not expect direct financial reward. And earlier, even Professor Gurumurthy or Professor Selvam might have got some rewards also in terms of money for publishing their articles. Even I also got 2,000 to 3,000 rupees during the early uh, 96 and 97 like that when I communicated the articles. But now that practice has completely gone. So many times majority may not get the financial rewards from the academic recognition, and we can say that these are all some other things. And different stakeholders of scholarly communication or authors, the faculty members, they do research and write articles and books on the possibility. Peer reviewers, again in that community also, we used to take part by the faculty members, evaluate critically the writing and just keep up quality. Editors, they collect articles and they copy and they edit, print and distribute. Libraries, they are the intermediaries. Their role is to subscribe the literature and also made available reserve, and so that it can get accessed, and again it will enable for reproducibility in that research life cycle. Societies and institutions, and of course Indian Economic Association can take an example, and also you can take another example of the other organizations, maybe of Association of Indian Universities or Commonwealth universities, like many international forums on different subjects. They all publish journals. So that is what that societies. Royal Society is one good example you can say. And the life cycle already talked about, identification of problem, data collection and research, analysis, discovery, reporting and writing, peer review, then publishing, dissemination and presentation, archive and promote the use. The growth of scholarly communication, just I've given a glance. The global scientific output doubles every 9 years. The Nature news blog, they made it on 7th May 2014. But now, every year, that the global scientific output is doubling. That is what the publication also lot of indexed and also lot of not indexed, non-indexed journals. Of course, they are all peer-reviewed journals. Not necessarily all the journals. More than 3 lakh journals according to Woodridge Periodical Directory. Even Science and Technology Management Report, it says that more than 3,10,000 English language and 9,400 non-English peer-reviewed journals. 4 million articles every year, but not all these are indexed in Web of Science or Scopus. Only a maximum of 18 to 20,000 journals are indexed. So some statistics I have given here: 70 million patents and the e-books, the data sets. So 3 crores. Different types, formal and informal. So formal, it's published printed articles, book chapters, and all the published. But even earlier, this thesis and dissertation they called us grey literature. Now it is also available online because of the Shodhganga initiative. We need to upload every thesis which is awarded by the universities. We made agreement even our university and our university, all this universities of the state universities, even some of the private universities also. And of course, conferences, this is networking with peers. Initially it called us informal. That also became formal because many webinars are being recorded. And so the working papers, project reports, all those things now is made available. So though it classified under informal and grey literature, and we can also access like other formal sources. Different forms of scholarly communication, just I would like to throw. And all those things are available in e-format and digital format. Of course, journal articles, as already told, full articles, the descriptive articles, the conceptual papers, and the original articles. That is outcome of the laboratory research or the field research, appropriate the use of the statistical techniques and the analytical techniques. Then letters, rapid communication, short communications, review papers, and the perspective. So that way, the publication in journals, peer-reviewed journals, and text journals can categorize, and faculty can think of publishing in all these forms, so that their publication may get enhanced and the visibility, and they may get the opportunity to publish some or other time in the peer-reviewed indexed journals. It may be of short communication, or it may be of a perspective, or it may be of a review paper, or it may be of a original article, or descriptive, or conceptual paper, whatever it may be. The conference proceedings, many conference proceedings are being indexed in Scopus and Web of Science. Even I would suggest the social science faculty members also, when you are convening a conference, you can tie up with AIMA or CAA or any other management professional societies, and also HP or IBM or these industry giants also can get approached, like it is happening in IIM and other the top business schools, and that will get possibly indexed in Web of Science Scopus. So in that way, you can have more papers in Web of Science and Scopus. But to get index your the conference proceedings, it means of post-conference proceedings, the full text, you need to do certain methodological and formal work in a systematic manner. That guidelines and all is very much available. So we can also get indexed these conference papers. Nearly around 10% of the papers belong to the conference organized. So that way, more chance of getting more number of articles in proceedings and books and book chapters. You can see that there is also other way of another source, and reports are very much important. NBR, like many organizations are that, the technical reports, monographs. Then many, they do have blogs. The Kepler Management Authority is having a blog and websites. The working reports are very much important for business, commerce, and economics, particularly social science researchers. So because World Bank reports or IMF reports or RBI reports, and many research you can carry out by analyzing the reports and the data compiled by these organizations. So the working reports are very much important. Maybe on transport, it may be on communication, it may be on health, it may be on education, it may be on agriculture, whatever may be. And the data sets, of course, table and figures are very much available separately. IndiaState.com, one example, and also our India data.gov.in. That is a portal, open data, and then learning objectives, the models. Even for social science also, you can find welfare models, how distribution and flow of a particular service can get delivered to the end community, and on sustainable economics. And many models are available, objectives, drawings and paintings, logos, maps. These are all different forms which are very much available as a form of scholarly communication. Not only you can access, but also you can also contribute, and you can make your print by contributing. If you are preparing an article, you may have table, you may have a flow chart, you may have a graph and all. So individually also you can communicate all those things. So not necessarily that particular journal article a person may happen to check and he can get it. We can access with your database of these images and data sets and tables, and that way more visibility people can have it. And the forms of IPR, contribution, particularly from social science researchers, when compared to the scientific faculty, may not get much encouraging, but we can also find the opportunities even when you go and search patent database, and also the different forms of IPR. It may be of copyright, so we can get the copyright for our teaching methodology, a particular topic you are major and accusation. You are teaching the particular method, so that methodology can get copyrighted. So trademarks and many are there. So we can also contribute into that IPR area also. These are all the skills, particularly for the scholarly communication. And we can also ask our students to get exposed to all these aspects. So the institutional capacity, Alapa University do have institutional capacity. They developed with your own publications and some of the dissertation thesis, and we do have in Bharadas University capacity. Like that, many organizations they are having, so that also can get visited. And the text and data meaning, programming, these are all very much necessary for make your visibility and impact, and also to get along with the international research and scientific community. Different aspects are given here: the manipulation of data and metrics, another one area, that how to get a citation, maybe of Google Scholar or ResearchGate, or maybe from the Faculty 1000 or from any other database, Multimetrics or Match Index, whatever it may be. So these are all different forms of citing: API model, Chicago model, MLI modeling, many more than 500 citation states are there. This already we discussed. The peer review is single blind, the most common, that is everywhere, and double blind, reviewer and author remain anonymous to each other. Now the open peer review is coming up. Even before the publication, they are making it public. Anyone can also throw your reviews, and if you are giving valuable inputs, they are really recognizing and taking into consideration of the teacher or faculty, and we can get collaboration with that organization or that publisher. So that way, open review is coming up. This is the landscape of scholarly communication. Why just I like to make a highlight on that. And the metadata and research data support is very much important. And even Springer, Emerald, and Nature, Science, and Elsevier, they are all giving research data support. You can visit their websites and you can see how your data you may have generated because of your ICSR project, or because of your major research project funded by any other organization, or because of your thesis, or even MPhil. Some of the MPhil thesis may be very good, and even MBA projects. So you can keep that data into these prominent repositories, particularly managed by this kind of organization. And sometimes they charge also, and without charging also you can get that metadata. Only that metadata is very much important, because you need to get named. The retrievability is very much important. Just Google founder Larry Page himself, he uttered that only 0.005% of the web content can get retrieved, because surface web only enabled that much. So Google is a powerful engine. So they started from simple text, now with images, Google Earth, Google Videos, and Google Scholar. Many forms they develop that metadata gradually. But even then, it doesn't have that capability, because the invisible web or deep web is very large, and we need to have appropriate metadata to upload our content. And it may be a picture, photograph, or it may be a flowchart, or a table, or data set, whatever it may be. So that need to be made available in the public domain, and so that your citation or your visibility may get noticed by others, and internationally you can join the research group. So in that DOI, digital object identifier, one such quite good old example I can say, that RCID ID, the open researcher ID. So that is very much necessary. Though you are having two paper or one paper, you can create, and that way researcher ID or the ResearchGate ID, ID in Mendeley, and these are all metadata systems. So for individual author identity, you can have it. Your paper will get indexed, noticed, and whenever you search, and also you can upload whatever you generated as outcome of your academic teaching, learning, research proceedings, maybe of a paper, maybe of a syllabus you constructed, maybe of bibliography or review you compiled, maybe of dissertation, or maybe of a tab paper, whatever it may be. So everything, whatever you did, definitely you can just throw in the public domain. And metadata awareness and knowledge is very much necessary. That is also very easy, because you should know what kind of technological parameters. So it has to go along with that technological parameter for the interoperability. Not necessarily by a librarian, I know, and or the computer science people, they know. As a researcher, not necessarily you should know all those details, but you should know what is that metadata. It's nothing but title, author, keywords, the like that only. It is available. Sometimes maybe that URL or the DOI, like that you need to create, and the system itself that enable for individual researcher to create, and your scholars also can get guided, and they can prepare the relevant metadata, which is recognized by different scholarly information systems, and they can made available if a person retrieve from Singapore or from Tokyo or from Madrid or from any other location. And then tools and support for authors, it is also very much available. Whatever I am telling you, these are all more than a decade they developed actually. So it's nothing but author guidelines in the journals you may have. Before you so nowadays all the peer reviewed and the index journals, preferably Scopus or Web of Science, they are all maintaining a portal, and you need to upload the research article like you are uploading your ICSR project. So that way you should know how you can register and how you can get upload, and that will also save a lot of time, and you can also find many journals to communicate your these research outcome, and within fortnight they are revert you back either to accept or to send you back the article or to make some corrections or modifications or give some advice. Even that's what the research data or research support results they are providing. So we need to familiarize with that tools and support for others. And the impact analysis, of course, now many are familiar with that. Start from Google Scholar to the H-Index or the Eugene article influence or impact factor, whatever it may be. So that we need to, in that area, one thing I just like to make a mention. Not necessarily we have to all publish our articles in the impact factor journals. Of course, we have to strive for, and we should work at the minimum 3 to 6 months time continuously. You want to fine tune. Though you carry out good research, unless otherwise it is prepared with appropriate language and the format, you cannot get noticed and published. So you can have a behavior of giving citation from these high impact factor journals. That practice really, when people are searching for other things, your article also may happen to get accessed by that scholar, since you cited a Harvard Business Review, or you cited a reference from Economist, or you cited a reference from any management journal by Taylor and Francis or Elsevier or Emerald, whatever it may be, and then dissemination. So this also sharing, giving access to your content, and your IR, your library, you need to give all your content which you made available, and through other forums like ResearchGate or Mendeley also you can just so that dissemination, reference management systems are available. Through that you can make available your publications. If not necessary, you can give the full access. At least you can give access to some content, partial content, or abstract level. All you can determine. And preservation of research and teaching materials. So SWAYAM is a good example. I can tell. I am also a SWAYAM coordinator here, and they are giving money. And you have to submit the proposal. You have to follow up. Of course, you have to spend a lot of time and efforts. Definitely, once you created a course for your subject, and they are also encouraging 10 faculty for a particular paper, and they are making it available, and your librarian can help you, and he also can help you. So in addition to that, you can upload in NPTEL, or you can upload in EPG Pathshala. If your PPT or course material or a video lecture, you can give to us. We will help you with preparing appropriate metadata, and that will be made available. So you can also highlight that e-content which you developed. That way, lot of the platforms are there for preservation of research and teaching materials. Even World Lecture Hall, like international initiatives, also there. You visit that World Lecture Hall, and also the Library of Congress, the open source materials. Like many, you can be an integral part, and you can also upload your content. And only thing is that you need to follow appropriate metadata and some standards they want actually. That is very much possible. Then open journal posting. Many of our library friends, they are also organizing. They are also having running journal that is successful through online, and by enabling this open channel hosting, that will help you to maintain website everything. Only you have to collect the article in PDF and Word format, being a editor, and that way you can run a journal also. That will give a definitely very good exposure. Here I can go to my Professor Selvam. He is running a channel. Because of that, he is popularized across the globe, and because of that, he conduct every year conference. So that way, professional recognition and enabling others to publish, all those things are very much possible. And his channel is considered as one of the promising upcoming channel by Web of Science. So you can go and visit this scholarly communication toolkit. These are all the different areas. You can access the information. Of course, my topic is digital library or electronic library. That's what Professor Murmuthy has assigned. But these are all a part of the libraries. Because these digital libraries or electronic libraries, they are as information systems. That's what I would say. So, for outreach, for assessment, for analysis, for discovery, for publication, for writing. Of course, some sources they may overlap because they perform all these roles also. You can see these are all the sites I have given here. For outreach, reference you can be a part of Mendeley, ResearchGate, RC, Google Scholar, academia.edu. So you create ID, nothing wrong. And it's very much possible within 5 to half an hour you can have all those things. And then for assessing your research outcome, because the system semantic, approach that will take you to the international researchers, you may get noticed. So social site, JSE open citations, and Publoons, that is for the reviewing. You can also be a part of that Publoons. So open source but maintained by Web of Science. You can get an ID in Publoons. And video sharing, these are all mapping of your research. For example, fiscal economics. So you can get the articles and you can, from Web of Science, you can map and you can identify which area is dominant, which area more funding given on that fiscal economics. So you can have collaboration with that organization. You can approach that funding agency. And for analysis, the fixed share, you can also throw your graphs and flowcharts into that. Then Plotly, Paper Writer, the My Experiment, even for social science, you can go and search. Not only science people, even for social science researchers, they have given their experiment models. Well, library science, we do have that information seeking behavior model and all. And then for discovery of the literature and other the data related services, you can find Doge, EBSCO, and this PLO, Public Library of Science, Faculty of Prime and Faculty of Research. These are all the scholarly communication tools which are popular. So in addition to that, there are many other tools also available. These are all prominent tools I would like to. And Grammarly, I think that your Alapa University is also having subscription to this Grammarly. Some of them are open and some of them are subscription based. Okay, let me count this scholarly information access in digital and electronic library. So this is what the assignment which is entrusted to me. And of course, now we are having consortia that is called eSocial. That link is available in Alapa University website also, like Madurai Kamaraj and Bharavi Dasan, Bharavi are all universities. The libraries we have given link and the websites that we will highlight that eSocial. There is a consortia which is formed to interconnect the university libraries, including IITs and central universities and other institutes. And earlier it was exclusive for this AICT based institutions, maybe engineering colleges and IITs. It is called INDES, but now it is merged. This eSocial, you can call it as information system. You can go and access any database. More than 20 databases are available, and some of them are social science, and some of them are science, and some of them are engineering, some of them are medicine. But being a social scientist, 20% of the literature that talks about the economics part or commerce part or business part or management part. Because you know very well, technology for society and science for society. What I'm saying, 20% is very lower side, but 1/3 of the literature documented in the science and social science that is indexed in this full text databases, publishing societies and scientific publishers belong to social sciences. And a lot of databases are there, Elsevier, Springer, and, Academic Press, Oxford University Press, Cambridge University Press, Emerald, and then IEEE, American Society of Civil Engineers, American Society of Mechanical Engineers, American Psychology Association, Institute of Physics, American Institute of Physics. Many databases are there. They are all full text publications, and then indexing and abstracting resources that also can get access to these resources. Our library, we do have Web of Science and Scopus both, and I don't know about Alappa library, but they are having Web of Science that I have confirmed. So that is internationally renowned commercial indexing databases, but open access indexing source also available. The Indian Science Library, Indian Science Abstracts, one good example I can say, and ERIC for Education Resource and Information Center, ERIC Digest, and also International Social Science Abstracts. There is one example, and many bibliographies. This econ literature. These are all indexing sources and abstracting sources that you can use as a key to locate the primary source, because going and searching separately in full text databases that take time, but these indexing sources are giving addresses of the primary sources, which is published by various publishers by collecting appropriate metadata and organizing according to subject, according to keywords, according to geographical zone, according to the chronological aspect, according to author, according to the source of that is journal, according to the category, any the funding agency. So that way, any researcher, you should jump into this secondary database for review of literature. Then from that you can sort out, and you can direct your research scholar to go and access that full text resource if really you are interested. So at the time, 100 abstracts can get downloaded. So there is no depth of the review of literature. So all this indexing, abstracting, review, and bibliographical resources comes under that category. Then open access resources, both the full text and the secondary sources, it is very much available. They are peer-reviewed journals and course materials, thesis and dissertations. Then my previous slide, I told that all data sets, analytical tools, online Google Classroom, like online classrooms, all those things are part of that open access resources. Information knowledge literacy programs. So you can go to Emerald, or you can go to Harvard Business Review, or you can go to any Oxford University Press or Cambridge University Press journals. And they do have demonstrations and how to publish and how to write, how to choose, and also how to access the databases. And they conduct a lot of webinars and programs also. So anyone interested, they can also take part in that. Then information and knowledge literacy programs is what you can be a part of mail forums and discussion forums. OBHC, Observatory on Borderless Education, and EN organizations, World Bank, IMF, OECD. You can go and subscribe by mentioning your area of research and interest, and whatever the resources updated into that portal, it will automatically come to your mailbox. So you can browse, and if necessary, you can go, and otherwise you can just omit that. So I request you to subscribe at least 20 mail forums, be a part of that discussion or mail groups, so that you can get familiarized, get updated, the information belong to your own subject. And digital portfolios and profile management is most important thing I request the family members to create a Vidwan ID that is maintained by InfluNet, because of the withdrawn ID, that IRINS, there is an information system, profile management system developed by Implement, and that is established in Alapa University and Bharadasan, Bharadiyar, Madri Kavla, Degree Universities. There will be a map of faculty's publication and its research areas. So you can also be a part of that. It is applicable to anyone not made to the university faculty, even college faculties also. And everyone should have your own website. That's what I emphasize. Now many the open source websites, bits like that, Weebly, these are all popular open source website management sources. And of course, for a teacher, not necessary to pay. If at all you are paying also annually, you can pay 1,000 rupees, you can get very good template. And put all your content. Of course, if your college they are maintaining and university they are maintaining websites, well and good. That also you have to keep on update. All the information, whatever seminar or whatever this meeting or whatever any academic or administrative assignment which is interested to you, which you have performed, you please update that information and the photographs and anything you can just make it available. Even that social networking also, I can say Facebook or whatever it may be comes under that part also. And many are using that practice. We should keep on. That is also possible through these e-libraries and literature search and review of scholarly publishing. That is already we discussed a lot, and that is very much possible. And online document delivery is another service for interlibrary loan, and every news library is interconnected with more than 100 libraries of prominent delivery stations. Banaras University Library or IIT Madras or Allahabad University or Bangalore University or Madhya University. And in that way, they are all subscribing lot of journals. Pondicherry University. See, our budget is 40 lakhs, but the Pondicherry University budget is 4 crores, and the IIT budget is 8 crore, and the Institute of Science 15 crore. That's their subscribing very costly journals. So through this JGate or interface is there, access to the JGate, you can give an email communication, and you can get article. If it is readily available, you can download, and if that is not available, if hard copy, they will also send it to you. So there is what online document delivery. Then of course Union catalogs and library networks, information systems. British Council Library we are subscribing, and American Library we are subscribing. Hope your Alpine Library also may subscribe all those things. So resource you can access through that, and Delnet, Implement. These are all library network. Not necessarily you depend on your own librarian. So by visiting these library networks, you can access to a range of the resources, and you can also subscribe using their mail forum. They will keep on communicating to you in the same way. This Library of Congress and the World Cat. So there is internationally they indexed more than 10,000 reputed libraries across the globe, many news libraries, and you can access the e-books and e-journals, and also you can request, you can come to know that you can use for your classroom or teaching assignments. In that way you can update that books and other things. So very easy to go and search that interfaces. The World Cat, that is known as World Cat, and Delnet or Implement, many library network, IFLA, International Federation of Library Association and institutions, and other areas, these information gateways and research carrels. That is also available in digital form of libraries. The repositories already told, that the digital archives, that is another one good important source. The Internet Archive and British Library Archives, where you can find all the documents, the construction of dams and roads and hill stations, which is made by the British people, 300 years documentation. Indian Archive is maintained by British Library. So that way, research data management services also I just highlight in my second session. And then human resource expertise. There is what that Mendeley and this reference management systems. You can be a mentor to the students, and also you can get your own mentor. Many international experts they spend a quite good amount of time on accessing these digital information resources, digital information systems. So you can get access to them and they can get consulted. So they will also notice if you are uploading your publications and your research work and the piece of research work. So human resource expertise is what Vidwan I told again. That Vidwan is national database. The same way you can get interacted with other the professional societies by registering your profile in that. Then AIMA, you can be a member of that. So CA, like the many of that. And webinars, RSS feeds, system, social networks, all those things are part of that e-library nowadays. And citations. In fact, another important thing, printed journals nowadays. There is what here also issue. And when the guides, particularly the social sciences, they are finding hard to get published their articles in Scopus Index, Web of Science Index, because they will be screened by a lot of cloned journals, the predatory journals. We need to get access with that kind of information also. That is also possible by scanning your library website or to go through this the predatory identification resources. And of course, plagiarism would put your libraries have authenticate. There also we think of going for that authenticate. And then by access through that, you can have a teaching, research, and collaboration, even sail across the digital library or e-library. So, infographics nowadays is coming popular, and also the remote access. Even Alapa Library also I have gone through the website they given. So faculty members, you can get a password login. And nowadays, because of this pandemic, all the leading scientific societies and publishers, they are giving remote access. Not necessarily you want to be in the universities. And then Ultimatrix, that is another aspect that donut that will take into consideration of all your it may be a public lecture you are given in all the radio, or it may be a write-up you write in Dinamani or Economic Times or Hindu, what it may be. It may be a lecture which you are given, webinar which you take part, or social networking, whatever it may be. So then profile management system, everything will take into consideration. There will be that impact that is already implemented in many of the ASEAN universities also. And Times Higher Education in Alaba University, they got it. Really, my appreciations and congratulations for all the faculty members and the stalwarts. That way, that Ultimatix is also coming up, and that will be implemented in all Indian universities. So these are all the different forms of that scholarly information resources that one can access by visiting the source into the consortia or any other consortia or any other digital library. It may be a Alapa University or British Library or so this is what I like to give an overview of the library resources you can access online. These are all different consortia. Agrees that is many economics, even Madurai Kamala University. When I was studying, I used to help the economics teachers by collecting data using schedule to visit Vadipeti and other villages, particularly for paddy and sugarcane growers. And they did a lot of research on agriculture economics, and agrees is another area. And INIS, that International Information Science, is CARE, Delnet is CSAR, and Department of Science and Technology, the National Knowledge Resource Center, and the Atomic Energy, and SIRA, the ICAR Consortia, and DRDO, Belcon. These are all different library networks belong to different subject categories. And you can visit and we can access the information. And also you can if you want, sometimes they ask, why I'm telling, even for library channel access, they are asking 300 euro. So how a poor college librarian can bear the 300 euro to access a particular article, to not to publish. For publishing, they are asking now 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 like that. So this publishing models also a lot of complex and problems are going on, and the government is also working. Even the librarians also we formed group, and we are also advocating the government of India, particularly enable our own scientists and social scientists to publish in Scopus indexed, Web of Science indexed these journals by deciding a very affordable economic model to our universities. So these are all the different sources I given their the URLs and the full text databases. All these databases you can visit because definitely you can find the social science, economics, commerce, business related research articles because we always emphasize on socio-economic development. So not necessarily that it should be of science, really. All you can find elsewhere. You can find quite good number of social journals. And these are all bibliographic databases belongs to different subjects. I given here, but all are subscription based. But this Indian Science Website is open, it's free, and the JCCC that is given to all universities. This was for interlevel loan. It index all the universities, their subscription content in search science system. These are all the indexing databases. And aggregators, in addition to that, Procost JSTOR is a very useful site. And I request all the social science faculty, please cite the articles from JSTOR for your review, rather than going and accessing Google Scholar. So JSTOR access is given to all universities, and also the different publishing platforms are given here. Harvard Business Review, and Oxford, Cambridge, Sage, Emerald, so really, and then engineering database, you can see that BIOSYS for biological, agricultural indexing, SciFinder for chemical abstracts. These are all Inspect and Engineering Village. Already I told the sites here. Google Scholar, these are all open, and these two are subscription based. We do have National Vision, Idea of India, Google Books, Internet Archive. I request the faculty members to visit Internet Archives, and you can find a very good piece of the classics as well as the contemporary trend reports and comprehensive reference books. So the impact factor we should know, and the Eugene factor, this impact factor and articles influence score, and the Scimago journal rank, Eugene factor. These are all the assessment tools used to locate the high quality and the impact research, as well as to get published your articles, and also to measure your research impact, your department or your individual or your institute research impact. Because impact factor is meant for journal, because every 2 years in Garfield, based on the number of articles and the number of citations previous 2 years, 2002 and impact factor EPW means the 2019 and 20, the citations which received by that particular journal, and the article published divided by 100 articles by 1000 means impact factor is 10. Like that, they are calculating, not necessarily that we should worry about that. And article influence score, because journal in total journal will talk, and we also can have our own article that influence score also calculated by dividing the Eugene factor by the number of articles published in the journals. The average influence per article of the papers published in the journal, and Scimago journal ranking, that is equal to that impact factor, because Scopus they are following their own procedure for the journal ranking. These are all openly available. This journal citation also previous year you can access. Of course, though we need to pay for that. And all previous year, these 4 aspects also you can get it from the databases for the articles and for the journals. Citation impact and authors, average number of citation per article, H index and G index. H index, already told impact factor. 1976 that JCR has come. This is what the Hutch index. Hutch index is another method to check the quality of the articles by author over a period of time. Because some article might have got more citations, some article might have got less citations. To wherever the citations and the papers are meeting together, that point is called as the Hutch index. So the citations will go upward and the articles also go downward. So wherever the scientist matching the dash number of citations each got by the dash number of papers. 10 articles got 10 citations above, the Hutch index is 10. Here that example for given here, you can see that the articles here, what is this Hutch index? We need to say first article got 55, 45, 20, both 10. Here this is the Hutch index. 5 of this article got 5 and above citations. Okay, this is that second other he got 25, 20, and 3 articles got 9, 4 articles 6. So his Hutch index 4, only he published 4 articles, and he got more than 4 citations. And the G index is another one. Particularly those who are not having good Hutch index, they can use that G index also. Then also we can calculate the different impact sources. Ultimately, say I will be told. So this is coined by Jason Prim, University of North Carolina. Alternative to metrics, creation and the study of new metrics based on social web analysis and informing the scholarship. Different open access, gold, green, and author pay open access hybrid journals. One example is British medical journals, mainly open. Different models, Doge, direct open access journals, we can visit and we will also demonstrate. And then green open access journals, examples are Registry of Open Access Repository and Directory of Open Access Repositories. You can find the all institutions actually, 4,976 international institutions, including our Institute of Science, some of the IIMs, they are part of that. And here also you can find 2,900 repositories. Many Indian institutions, top level institutions are there, and the world ranking institutions are part of that. Their content, the users can go and access. Here I given here some details. And Indian Institute of Science, National Aeronautic Laboratory, IIT Bombay, and the NDLTD, the Network of Digital Library and these databases, dot Europe thesis portal, Shodhanga. By accessing to the NDLTD and the dot, you can also compare. Many times even you can wonder how our thesis is very good when compared to this Ireland or when compared to Denmark, the thesis carried out in economics or other subject. So I also used the same analytical tools they also used, and I made more analytical, more objective than their work. That way you can now compare it the level, and if it is lower, inferior, you can compare, and if it is already proven this, you can also be proud. So in that way, for comparing your research work or research piece, you can also access to these databases, pieces. And then servers, Science Central, that is for this case, the Indian initiative. They were having, they given open access, the Nation Knowledge Resource Center of Department of Science and Technology. 150 million documents, 7,000 documents, 50% is our open access content. And of course, the grey literature, the HAL open grey net, 9 open. So I given here there. Anyway, I send the PPT, and you can also explore on your own. CSAR open content. So these are all tools to report your research. You can also subscribe to automatic alerts and be a part of our community already talked. And there are journal session tools are there. How to write research articles tools are there. And to avoid the author name ambiguity, that RC, that researcher ID, and also the copyright and infographics. So here I can told that with one, you can see that bring a database of scientists from India, funding entities and policymakers that will match ongoing research projects that will highlight, communicate directly with experts, information exchange and networking opportunities among scientists and faculty.
Excuse me, sir. Sir,
So
your
we can,
PPT is not visible.
Sir, we have to give a break. I can continue.
PPT is not visible, sir.
Oh, screen is not visible.
Yeah.
Oh, just a minute. No, so far it was visible. Only now it is not visible. I don't know. Just a minute.
It is visible now, sir.
Now it is okay. Visible.
Yes, yes, it is okay, sir.
Okay, okay. So,
Visible, sir. Visible, sir.
okay, okay, okay. Thank you. So you please stop when you want to have a break, definitely. Okay. So here I have given our former Vice Chancellor Manishankar sir. Like that, everyone IRINS. I don't know if you are not part of that. You can ask Alapad Muslim Librarian and immediately get your profile. And otherwise, also with one, you can be a part of that because there's open for each and every college faculty or the university faculty. They belong to engineering or science or management. Okay. So here it will also identify different maps you can have it, that how he has collaborated, research and all, and different areas, the citation where and all he has covered, who and all cited him, from abroad how many cited, all those things we can just have it for each and everyone. And different management styles. I just don't want to go into it. You can demonstrate now. You can change from one to other. Even your research scholars, you can guide them and they will help. Even when they my research scholars, they only do all those this kind of work for structuring and formatting and also converting into the format. So just anyway, difference I just copied and I given here AP and MLA, author, publication date. Normally we follow this AP model, title of the article and also italicize the title of the journal, and then volume number, issue number, page duration, and the DOI is most important thing. So the same way for the MLA, here the change we can write. The second author and the edition and all it was given. And this is a journal selecting tool and journalguide.com. You can go and choose a journal on different subject, scope of the journal, metrics of the journal, whether it is indexed in Scopus or not. Particularly those who are not having access to Web of Science Scopus, this is open. Then articles also you can check, and manuscript title, abstract. A lot of the possibilities are there. You can journal name, publisher category. So services, what are the services you can subscribe also. Just here we have given economy of hybrid electric flight. I got this many journals, matches to our research, and already told different the IDs. So Scopus ID, if you publish an article, you can get it. Researcher ID and REPAC research papers in economics. Here also you can upload your paper, you can get an ID, a very good source and qualitative information. You can find a Google Scholar ID. You all know very well. Microsoft Academic ID you can create. It's also free. semantic scholar, loop, RSeed. So these are all the different naming identifiers. So that will really avoid ambiguity because name, if you simply put Google or Web of Science, many times your article may not get indexed. Sometimes even journals, they may leave a comma or full stop, or they may break your name, Srinivasa Raghavan together, or Srinivasa separately, or Raghavan RAGAVN, or Raghavan RAGHAVN. These kind of changes and all that may occur, we cannot avoid. So we have to go and search, filter it. Instead of that, if you are having this ID, with that ID you can get your all articles which is indexed. Here that the site I given. So ISO standard. The full text database already talked. You can see that JSTOR, Manupatra, Nature, Oxford. So my suggestion for the faculty members, because science and nature they are giving access to the universities, very costly journals and high impact factor journal, but general about the technological and medical advancement and the other subject advancement on the nature and the human resources, the social impact, the environmental impact and all, we can update actually. Just we can browse ஒரு விகடன் படிக்கிற மாதிரியோ அல்லது ஒரு நியூஸ் பேப்பர் படிக்கிற மாதிரியோ generally you can access that habit, you can have it so fortnightly. That way you can have very updated information and some fellowships and all also awards, fellowships, anything they may make it. You can find opportunities like some European Belgium or Poland, like that. Some states which are not prominent, people may not very much. So you can Seychelles, even Ireland. So that kind of advertisements and all I come across. You can throw it, you can get an opportunity that way. These are all different subject database, project news, and this also social science you can access, and Taylor Francis Springer, so law. These are all get accessed by the e-libraries of our Indian universities. So Shindu, you can see that I just made a snapshot. The database is 20 plus, and this many online e-resource acquisition system also is there. Members, you can come to know e-resource, you can search the infant for the remote access, federated search, not necessarily going to single database. Every database you can have it. So more than 3,20,000 theses you can see here, and 42 fellowships and synopsis. These are all just I got it. I'll just quickly run through. You can go and search not only the articles but also programs and resources. You can see these are all open access magazines, at Physics Today and Science Policy News. Journals, of course, you have to pay or you have to be a subscription based. The member societies, so all celebrities, and many you can be a part of that. Just they used the search term electronics, the American communities, the other one, important students, educators, communities, nature. Already told you, you can be a community of that. You can subscribe the protocols, review journals, scientific reports. For all subjects, you can see depth and environmental sciences. And for librarians and referees, this is the database. So I given a snapshot how you can go and search cipher this for chemistry, these structures and molecules, and also diagrams, figures, flow charts, exclusively not full text. These are all analytical tools. Math science also for all mathematical equations. One can access the models. This is what that J gave. We will demonstrate you, and you can also author find the journal finder by searching. You can integrate with many universities here. You can see the Bharat University, Alapa University also they are having, You can download that article because it is internet has 60 top university. They invest a lot of money on their own channel that they can access. If the hard copy is available and we can get the hard copies of that resource also, classics, obviously for 50s and 60s, biological abstract, and dissertation abstracts, the proposed is all subscription based. So Web of Science, of course, will demonstrate the problems I told you. And COVID-19 is also now they are encouraging the papers, and you can publish the economical, social, and other aspects, managerial aspects of the COVID-19. They can get published. Indian Citizen Index. There's also you can have private access. Some libraries are having, so not necessarily. You can ask me, or you can ask Madurai University Suresh, or you can ask Alapa University librarian, or even IIT librarian Jadhav. So we can get access. Okay, so we also so far that I have shown you all the e-source into that library access resources. Now we will also see some of the open science and open research and open data project. So the open notebooks, the laboratory notebooks, simple diary or observed information, you can say, and the peer review already told, open access, different models we have seen, and open source software codes, and also citizen science and OER, UNESCO, and even World Bank, IMF, OECD, WTO, many they do have their publications, and then social networks, academic social networks, findable, accessible, then interoperable, and then retrievable data. That's what fair data. So they are all different open data providers. The World Bank, SPOC, then Stanford, VS data, the Indian data. This open science design, the National Academy of Science, Engineering, and Management. So you can see a lot of data on management. Austrian Research Data Infrastructure, G7 Open Science Working Groups, OECD already told, very good open access scholarly database about the literature as well as about the data. For India, they are even separate web page link. And African Research Cloud, UNESCO, you can see the Horizon 2.0, it's a project of European Union. The European Open Science Cloud. So scholarly communication avenues, you can choose funding mandate, career necessities, for academic necessity, genuine promotion, these are all the reasons we need to get published, or we need to have an impact in scholarly communication and continuous scholarly communication, but mainly is for preserving for posterity. And of course, many they are earning also. The research culture, prolific writing. So how you can determine a journal based on its quality and relevance to your subject, discoverability, whether this particular indexed in Scopus or Web of Science or any other indexing systems, and accessibility to open access, the goal to open access, charge to publish the journal, free available, what cost to publish, how widely read in this journal. These are all the determinants. Editorial board, and then COPE, Committee on Publication Ethics. Every journal should have that COPE guidelines. Acceptance and acceptance rate, frequent acceptance rate is very much necessary, and the more acceptance rate also. Copyright restrictions, misconduct restrictions, that ethics, ownership, and technologies which are used is most important nowadays. And revenue and marketing strategies are all some of the web services for these scholarly avenues. There are 3 lakh scholarly peer-reviewed journals. Web tools and services help authors to find data on journal services, inform the selection decisions, very transparent, very open, prestige, impact, service quality, publication cost, policies, open access, article processing charges. The onus remains on the authors to weigh after considering multiple factors and parameters to publish, choose their scholarly communication. So these are all, this is the paid, but you can also search a journal and approach another one journal index. Then perfect journals like that, research was, these are all some of the journals like the Jane and IEEE, Elsevier journal finder, Springer journal register. These also publishing your research top not only journals. Some of the things the authors need to always be ensure before they're submitting the article, criteria for article selection, and fulfill the requirements, read author guidelines, and adhere. That is most important thing. Even a small aspect that is matter, and this is what many they get published frequently. And sometimes we used to envy of them also. How these guys keep on publishing like that? So if they understand the grammar of the particular journals, where the scope and relevance of his or her research work and the publication, the chances are more. So that way, we need to be very much careful in analyzing various factors, most recent issues, topics, themes, right style, points of view. We have to fit our article to that extent. After submitting your publication, proofreading, acknowledgement, payment for open access, review. These are all some of the aspects. Books publishing also, phonograph or book. Early careers, particularly vulnerable. Time to write a proposal and choose a publisher approach. Choosing one publisher over other, there should not be. Pricing policy, precision, speed, and marketing. Sage, Oxford, Cambridge. Nowadays, the book publishing time also, Viva books, does come down to 1 month to 3 months. So once management is ready, even you can get published in Springer and our faculty, they are keep on publishing. And of course, unpaid and on often unranked extra lines on their CV. These are all some of the Cambridge University best books. Speed of the publisher, effective publisher marketing strategy is all to be considered. Choosing the right channel already. I have mentioned the early career success where they have to publish their work. They need to impact their research advancement, funding opportunities, professional reputation, each aspect of journal submission, quality, credibility, author experience, overall reputation, identifying predatory. Most experienced authors understand the way industry works way too well. Lot of pressure to start publishing soon. Unfamiliar with esteemed journals. Jeffrey Bell's list, its own list for these predator journals. And there won't be any standard way like ISSN or DOIs. Scope of the journal is too wide, interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary like that. These are all some of the limitations that we need to be careful while choosing the journal article. ISSN is given here how represent 13 this 8-digit ISSN, 13-digit ISSN. Article processing charge, copy editor, typeset, accept publication, deputed journals, APS, chargeable amount before the hand and the website. Sometimes they may not reveal, finally they may ask you. So we have to be very much careful with that aspect. And we have to see that whether it is indexed in International Bibliography of Social Sciences, Norwegian list, Sherpa, Romeo, Waldecat, and Silo. These are some of the journal indexing sources. Online platform is very much necessary. Just by email, don't push to them out someday or article will not be available there. So these are all the continuation of selecting the right journal. Accept the right up to 90% rejection rate is not unheard of top 10 channels. 50% rejection rate is the norm. Industry widely accepted standard of conflict channels acceptance rate. Every channel follows the approach they see fit. Total number of manuscripts received, sent for peer review. So without sending for peer review, they keep on returning it back. Then we are not supposed to choose that channel. And specialized feeds. Here you can see that how you can the different channel selector, their consideration of SMIP, SJR, JCR, and service quality, editorial information, acceptable rate, publication speed, embargo time, publication cost and policy. This is what the channel selectors are given here snapshots. Note, GNA, research cost channel guide, Springer channel register, over 2.5 channels. Simego is open, and the Scopus you need to pay, Web of Science you need to pay, Google Web also. But previous year you can have it Cyber, Google Scholar channel. The tricks is that source normalized impact, and then ASIA Scopus channel ranking. Simego given here, channel country rank, 27 major thematic areas. Elsewhere, 313 specific subject categories. For by country, you can search, and then allows you to embed significant channel metrics into our web. 238 countries worldwide there. You see 5,000 international publishers, 31,000 titles. The site is raw. Data draw. The journal details. Simego all country. Open access journals. Countries. Web of Science journals. You can see that 2 year citation, 3 year citation, total citations, reference documents, how much further in the country, annuity. This is what the Simego. It's open access. We can go and search journals, different categories, all subject areas. According to India, all times the year.
Break, sir.
We'll break. Okay. Yeah. So after 10 minutes we can
Sir, okay, sir.
join. So we can continue.
Sir, please continue.
Yeah. I'll quickly run through, and if possible in 15 minutes, we will demonstrate one or two database. Then we can wind up. Okay. Thank you. So here, as already told, for India, you can get quarterly, the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, like that. So you can choose that Q4 journals easily. You can get published because Q1, Q2, their impact may be a little bit high. So always prefer that Q4 journals initially for early career researchers. So the total number of journals in SciMaco, 5-6 journals which are belong to India, and in that we have to find that how many are open access journals. You can see that 203 journals in that SciMaco, of which business management and accounting journals, 1,659 journals are there in SciMaco. You can see their impact, their H index, how many are in 2019, and the total references, all those things I have just. And also you can see that the 204 journals for business management accounting in all country, open access journals. Is that 1,600 whole journal, of which open access 204. You can access these journals, and top 15 Indian journals in you can find here. Their index, the country belonging to the business management accounting, global journal of flexible system management. That is the journal, but there is not available here. These only top 15 journals can make it. All these Q1 journals, you can choose the Q4 journals. In Scopus in demonstration, we can see this is that the Scopus journal ranking, like impact factor. This one actually. Here see Q3, you can find International Journal of Systems Assurance Engineering Management, and the Q3 Prabandhan, Indian Journal of Management. It is also indexed in Scopus, and you can see International Journal of Rural Management, Q3 Journal of Marketing. These are all Scopus indexed journals. Management journals, you can see that for India, all these Indian journals, the two journals are there. So, business management accounting journals, here also you can see their scope of journal ranking, their given here. All the 32 journals, Indian Journal of Economics and Business, Textile Magazine, Indian Silk, Finance India, BTRS, CAN, ASEAN Textile Journals. It may keep on change actually. So Scopus, you can see that how many articles are there. For business management accounting, 358,000 articles, of which open access is 52,603. You can also access gold, hybrid gold, brands, green, like the different open access markets you can search. And you can also export, you can download, you can view citation, all those you can make. Web of Science, you can see 1989 to 2021 access for Bardhasan, for IIT and all, even pre-year they access. You can see 1,27,436 on economics, metrics, and finance, 225 for open access, and the Journal of Entrepreneurship, economic journals in India, according to Web of Science, 11 journals. You can see South Asia Development, Finance, Economic and Political Weekly, Indian Journal of Economics and Business, Entrepreneurship. All the 11 journals are given here. Most of them are Q2, Q3, and Q4. The Scopus such I made it. Economics, just econometrics and finance. Just simply use that. You can find 80,500 articles, document type, publication range, keywords, application, fundings. That way you can arrange the set results. You can choose accordingly. These are all the journals for economics. This time you here also again economics, the word I used. 2,09,000, open access 58,000, Woodridge Web, UGC Catalyst, UGC Catalyst journals, 358 journals for social sciences category. This SciVal, another Institute Science journal quality access site. These are all discipline-based subjects: Australian Business, Dean's Council, ABDC journal, Financial Times top 50 journals, PhD journalist, German Academic Student Business, and Economics and Management, CNRS, Eric Plus, RAPAC, Research Paper in Economics, Direct Announcing Journals, Index of Systems journal. These are all belong to Commerce Business. I just made a snapshot. What I told the CNRS, you can see. You can see that European Reference Index of Humanities. RAPAC, here not only journals, your articles also you can make it. Institutions, you can contribute, you can have a profile also on this. Journals, software components, books of tests, bibliography, author registration, everything you can now. I request you to register an ID in this RAPAC. And index of journals, open access, open, soon open online library public platform. These are all Indian biodiversity portal where also you can find that data. Okay, so National Innovation Foundation of India, DOGE, already we told, Public Knowledge Project, Open Data Providers. Just I made Web of Science for Alapa University with 3,600 articles for affiliation and citation 43,000 plus and 58,848 times cited. Average citation 16.35. Index is 85. You can see that year-wise breakup, format-wise breakup, review articles, yearly access, open access, and also highly cited paper. You can see 72 highly cited papers. Highly cited paper means more than 100 citations each paper they got. So we can demonstrate accordingly. Alapa University Biotechnology, they are on top. You can see all those subject categories: biophysics, microbiology. We will search with some economic terms. You can see the authors, the top authors based on their publication count. And you can see Manisankar sir, 3.6.94, Gopalan, and many other. This is that funding agencies: UGC, Department of Biotechnology, DBT, CSIR, DBT person, King Saudi University, and then ICMR, Ministry of Science and Technology. Many are RUSA, 46 are indexed, RUSA 2.0. And research areas, you can see chemistry, engineering, physics, top areas. And the collaborative organizations: Anna University, Madras, Annamalai, Bharat University, Mary Kamaraj. Scopus, the same way analysis based on Scopus. We made it. We can see more than 5,500 articles compared to Web of Science is more. And area-wise: energy, mathematics, medicine, computer science, social sciences. 289 articles are there in Scopus. Social sciences, arts and humanities 147, business management accounting 253 articles written by Alapa University researchers. Again, 3 and affiliations: Annamalai, international affiliation, King Saudi. Document type: conference proceedings, journals. Authors here you can see top authors: Kumariswaran, Selvam, yes, Urendi, Kitmin, Jayakandan sir, Vasudevan, Shankar Gopalan sir, Rajendran sir. That from library science, that Jayshankar. .802 open access, of which green, hybrid gold, bronze, gold, and then different. This one here also we can contribute pattern, design, trademark, geographic indication. These are all here also we can make IPR contribution, even some documentaries. The registration are given here. I just don't want to. Some of the management organization sources, EBSCO, Emerald, so a very good source, and JSTOR already told, and Science Direct also good number of management journals. Proposed in another database, Taylor and Francis, and then some of the organizations, IMF, World Bank, we can see their publication, everything. International Development Association, Finance Corporation, IBRD, Multilateral Investment Grant Agency, Center for State and Investment Disputes. These are all the resources, statistics, Global Economic Monitor, indicators, Joint External Data Hub, Logistic Performance Index, RBI, they do have quite a good number of publications. You can see their publications. OECD, more than 60 years, they are extending the research into economics and societal development. They do a separate conference for COVID-19. WTO, their resources. IMA also many lectures and all. They recorded, it is available in our library, maybe available in our part of library also. By Rahul Bajaj and Krishnamurthy, and many other people, TVS, Venu Srinivasan, NIFM, Institute of Finance and Management. So these are like that. We have a lot of organizations are there. So these are all organizational resources. IFMR, you can go and find the opportunities and publications. The public India is another important source. So it is old. It is based in. See the snapshot, quite old snapshot, 2010 snapshot actually. Since then, I am accessing this India. Lot of data and publications. Research paper, even you can also upload your research paper. International Public Finance and IMA, Ahmedabad. So, okay, so to conclude, it's not just a mere career, investing ourselves and colleagues and the pursuit of excellence, we need to search the resources and access and update, building the gap between technology and understanding of domain knowledge. The research lies in logics. So incremental product advance with their interest, always focusing the specialized narrow discipline, relevant outcomes, level of forms of this scholarly communication. So that's why I willing to make a emphasize. Thank you very much for patient listening, and now we can demonstrate at least one or two if you prefer. Let me also open the databases. Whatever we could see, some data, resources, and some. I'll stop the shop sharing. I will share the website. Yeah. So I'll open the websites. Web of Science. So here you can find the fields. Welcome to the new web of science. You can also add date range, add rows, so whatever you want, you can make it. If you want to different fields, you can add row, and you can also add date ranges also. For example, all fields necessary. No, only if you want the topic. So I can put the topic, for example, I put it digital economics. Okay. Date range, we can put which date to which date, publication date or index date. So both options is there. So we put index date. We have to put year, month, date in that format. For 2005, for example, this is the month September 09. Today's date we can put 32 2021 09 30. Okay, so we will search. You can find 772. Search results, we have improved search results, show you around contents. So 772 on digital economics topic actually. So review articles 47, early access article 33, open access 317 articles are there. You can see this classification. Here the citations, reference every article they got, and year-wise breakup also. We can get all Web of Science category, authors, and institutions. We'll see whether in Harappa University any here you can see that the University of London, all those things, Harappa University, Cambridge, Queensland, University of Connecticut, Kentucky, and York University, Indiana University, Bloomington, Nanyang Technological University, okay, University of Munich, Institute of National, John Hopkins, State University of New York, Arizona, Boston, Leeds, Washington, Yale University, Dallas, Georgia. Yeah, I am. He is there. I am. King's College London, Tel Aviv University, Barcelona, Calgary, North Carolina, Texas, Sydney, California, Prague, Dublin. Okay, up to 2. If you give that refiner, they can give. Science categories, different aspects. IIT, Tel Aviv University, IIM Varna, IMUC, click and debate. It's nothing but economics, it's about tools. Opportunities for digital tools for tractor hire in India and Nigeria. Different based privacy markets, digital ecosystem within the context. IEEE journal and the production operation management. There also may be a few textbook insights actually. Okay, good. So like that. And if you want to analyze results, you can go back. Okay. So you can choose now. I choose the affiliation. Management or business management report. Okay, affiliation. Where we have to put the Alapa University. I don't know how the Alapa University is there. Can you put its the full name and type or all fields certificate. How we have put topic. You put all fields. Whether you see either for the keyword or I don't know, it's not coming. Yeah, affiliation we are not supposed to do business management. Nah. Here we have to put Alapa University. Yeah. I don't know mistake. Yeah, you can put business management. Why? Yeah. Yeah, only 6 from the above lecture. You can see on different optics by Matawa and Shankar, and also multi-objective ring optical algorithm model for prediction in the telecommunication sector. Shankar K. Free, this is from publisher. You can view few text. All the 6 articles. Bhanumati and Muthamari, Shankar K, Kumaresan Perumal and Anbalahan. Their author office also can come to know from these. Yeah. He is from Kanchi, Mahamudir Common Institute of Postgraduate, Pondicherry. Maybe the research scholar. He has worked in different organizations. Good.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, yes.
Good
Yeah.
afternoon, sir.
Oh, good afternoon. Tell me.
Sir, can I ask you, sir, something?
Pardon?
Sir, can I ask you something, sir?
Yeah, definitely, ma'am.
Yeah, sir. In this Clarivate analysis side, while we are searching for for the journal type, sir, we can only type the author name and we can find our find the articles which is being written by them, right?
Yeah, you can type by title or author or keyword or article
Sir,
name.
if we also mention the subject or the subject for which we are writing, like the topics, suppose a corporate sustainability, we can also get these papers on this, na sir?
Yeah, I see if you are putting in double quote corporate sustainability, that will take the both words. That's what search strategies actually. And if you put or you can use phrase search, that advanced search option. Or if you put corporate sustainability, it will show, it will get the records on corporate as well as sustainability. And sometimes it may be environmental sustainability also. So you have to use the appropriate search by restricting to that search instructions.
Sir, can we download the paper from that side?
Yeah, you can download this what I can show you also. You can download that paper also.
Okay, sir.
And
sir,
no, if it is access is available, open access 300 means that all the 300 you can access. If it is that access is not available, then for example here you can see full text from publisher. So here you have to view. So sometimes it may ask money, sometimes it may give access. So that is what I told you, that JCCC, after getting that information, you, if it is not giving access, you can ask either your librarian or any librarian of Tamil Nadu universities. We will help you. Here you see, here that PDF, that view is showing that it's open access article. Then you can access actually the whole article.
The access which is being granted, and for the papers which is not been given the access, sir. Sir, will there be any difference, like or
it will depend on the publisher. If it is open access, they will give open access. Here you see there is no open access or articles early access like that. So we have to see whether any free access is there. Then you can 2 or 4 are open access articles. So all the 4 articles you can see whatever they are given access. Okay, here you can see that open access. All the open access article, if you refine it, it will come. So here all open access articles. These articles you can go and see. You can full text from publishers. So you.
Sir, another question, sir.
Yes,
sir, the details of the author is written, right? Suppose we write it in the bibliography while giving the reference, sir. Which style is more acceptable nowadays for publication, sir? Which style we should go for adopting?
The style depends on the journal actually. They will give that author guidelines. So which journal you are submitting, they give guidelines. Based on that, you have to make insight reference as well as the bibliography also. APA or MLA or Chicago or their own style. More than 500 styles are there. So they are having tool also. They can convert from one style to other style. So that is not a problem. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Now you see that article you can access, subtract, everything you can access actually. BibTeX in 2 formats you can cite. RIS one format, EndNote one format, BibTeX one format. So you can also download this PDF. You click here, you can download the full article. Already 1,440 people viewed and 1,373 times it is downloaded. So you can also download full text. Now it is downloaded. You can see that article. So policy privacy blockchain technique to achieve secure and reliable sharing to Internet of Things data. So you can see that authors there, and also Moscow, Saudi Arabia, Karaikuri, Alapa University. depend on computer applications. You can see that author. Okay, so like that you can see. Okay, the same way we will see in Scopus also, and one more database of data. I'll do that. Here that data.gov.in. Okay, now we'll close this and we will go and access Scopus. Manuscript preparation instruction, you can see that CMES local officer. Oh, this is that data.gov.in. This is open. You can see the different sectors: transport sector, health and family, water and sanitation, power and energy, industry, agriculture, all those. You can also suggest a data set. You can put your name, your email address. If you are having any data set, you can suggest. So, validation, audio, source of data, all those things you have to make it actually. Open data policy of India, they given here. All those documents also you can task force, everything you can have it. The apps also there, app gallery and indicators, APIs. They are having quite good number of APIs. Here you can see visualizations and the APIs more than 1 lakh APIs they developed, and also all those things, 184 departments. Here we'll see some data on transport or industry.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, I just wanted to ask you, sir. Sir, there are various ways of collecting data. This is one of the way which you showed us. But there is other way, like say we go for constructing a Google form and we write our questions on that and we collect our data. Right.
Collection of data, I couldn't get you on primary data or the secondary data.
Sir, for secondary data, we can go for referring to the sites. But primary data, sir, can we also go for referring to the sites and do the analysis, sir?
For analysis, after collected primary data, there are analytical tools are there. I will show you now. So you can use any this R2 or the SPSS and other data analytical tools. Even preparing graphs, the infographics tools are there. So that and all you can make whatever data you are copying and pasting or you are uploading accordingly, it will give analysis. Even interpretation also that will give. And there is that tools also available that you can do it actually. For the
so we
data
have to mention the site which we referred, right? For collecting our data, we have to refer our sites.
Definitely. And even questionnaire construction also, you can construct the questionnaire. You can use SurveyMonkey like online tools, and that even Google Docs. Now everyone online questionnaire they are making. That
so
also
nowadays, Google Doc is more often used for collecting the data. That is the primary data.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Here you see production of raw silk and silk yarn. That one aspect we can use that data. So visualization also there, 73 visualization, APIs, services on transport.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you very much, sir, for wonderful presentation. It is useful to young scholars and faculty members for improving his excellence through publication of their articles.
Definitely, sir.
Disseminating their research knowledge to the public and also society. Very thankful to you, sir. Today, fortunate our Department of Commerce, Harappa University arranging wonderful session. It is definitely useful to us, sir. Really thank to you. And one more fact, sir. Actually, I have published many articles. I am a Dr. Ganesamurthy. assistant professor in the Department of Corporate Chairship,
Yes,
Alagappa
yes.
University. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I have published many articles, sir.
Yeah.
How to improve our citation in Google Scholar and Scopus? Already opened Vidwan and Vidwan ID, Google Scholar ID, then Hardship ID.
Yeah.
At not increased or citation. Can you give tips for improve our citation for
So
my article?
so you registered in RCD and Google Scholar Research Gate everywhere you are registered.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. You see, that first of all, you would encourage your scholars to cite the articles which are published in Google Scholar or ResearchGate or Scopus, whatever it may be.
Okay.
Either they can quote in the review, or they can quote in the discussion or in the introduction, or they can also just append. So there are the citation. Sometimes even in bibliography, if you enlist that article, automatically it will take Google Scholar and all. Otherwise, within the citations also. So you have to ask all your scholars to cite all the articles, and you also have to cite that. If it is that within the research group, then that called as self citations. But if
Sir,
research
while preparation of any article, we can use our own citation.
yeah, definitely,
Or,
definitely you can use. Earlier research outcome you are using, you are citing. The same way you are going to
okay.
do it. And
Okay. It
also,
is also, sir. It is also counted in citation, sir.
yeah, obviously.
Right, sir.
Maybe
Right.
your scholar or maybe your colleague, maybe your
Yes, yes,
department
yes.
colleague. There is a
Yes,
win-win,
sir.
win-win situation also you can have it.
Right, sir.
Your
Right, sir.
you cite your colleague's article if it is relevant.
Oh,
Let him cite your article. See, the citation also there are generic and there are subject specific.
oh.
So even sometimes you can have general definitional analysis citations also, or contextual citation. Sometimes database citation also you can use it. And of
Sir,
course,
excuse me, sir. We can also use our LinkedIn account, for like social sites also, sir. We can also use that for for publishing, for publicity of our
yeah,
paper. And
definitely, madam.
yes, sir.
Even conference paper, whatever you upload in Google Scholar, you upload in ResearchGate, you upload other this Mendeley. Uh, some they allow you to up to the abstract level, some up to full text. So wherever it is available, you can upload, so that your visibility may more, and sometimes you may get citations also.
Sir, thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Scopus also, we will see Scopus here. You can see that Google Scholar, they given Google Translate. PubMed is also another one, a very good source for management, commerce, and that. You can also download quite good number of data. There is open source data. You can also contribute into PubMed. So in that way, your citation get viewed, your article get viewed. So all these things are possible, and sometimes it has to acknowledged by others automatically. Sometimes we need to also push in that our sources. Here I use that, for example, commerce or something merger and acquisition. I put. I don't know, but this is a medical database. Even though I am putting it, merger I put just immediately this coming merger and acquisition. So definitely there may be data. Merger and acquisition medicine. So all this medicine is coming. The same concept. Not only you people commerce you use. Here you see merger and medical. So we can have advanced search. So we can add enter search term. It's coming here. All fields are author data, ECR number like that is coming. These are all filters, investigator name, location ID, medical subject heading terms, other terms, pharmacological. So like that is coming actually. Okay, let me put that hospital management. I'll put within quote. I don't know how it will take. Date by publication. We can filter it location, language, publisher, title, volume. Create filter, issue channel name, or the location ID. Oh, no, location. Yeah, we have to add field. Okay, let us see Alapan stick. All field. Where is the add field? Here. Affiliation. Zero results. Oh, instead put Alapan stick. Management. You see, I got management 256 results that is published in PubMed 2009 to 2021. So this many articles indexed in PubMed on management, maybe on medicine, therapeutic management word used. Since I put all fields, so I can further refine also. I can define that all fields. Here I can put the text availability, article, put associated data, analysis. Filters, these are all filters. We can search within this. Now we put again fresh where to go. Whatever search you made, it is coming here. How you can edit the search tab? Grand number, location, medical surgery, major topic. We will see any learning is coming up. On commerce. And the query box is and add with R, add with lat. Why it is coming commerce here you put that. Yeah, 4,139. Just we put the word commerce in the medical subheading list actually. Here you can see full text and the data associated with that. So only the data will come. only 7050, the data it has come into. So data and full text, both you can have it. Understanding business models you can look at. Natural pharmaceutical sales data. Commercialization of cellular immunotherapies of cancer. You can see, for example, in direct to consumer advertisement. How many commerce related articles in PubMed, it's a medical science, the need for business and reproduction medicine. Third party puppy sales or dog sales. So like that, you can with clinical trial. You want a clinical trial. So 224. Further, it's refined. So it includes clinical trials. So in that way, you can see that clinical trials, they are given ID. Sustained impact of energy dense TV and online advertising on children's dietary intake. See how the commerce, economics, and social sciences are multiple operating increase fruit and vegetable intake in low income housing countries. That you can also upload your article. No problem with that.
Very useful information you are sharing, sir. Very useful information, sir.
Thank you, madam. So like that, you experience yourself all the databases. They'll give. See here, this PubMed, it's Google Translate, Scopus, all those things. So you can upload your article into that. So these are all people can search. So finally, one time is left with us. So Scopus, you will see some. You can tell one term, subject term, the research term belong to your commerce and specialization. We will search. Anyone? Sir, Narayana Murthy, sir. Sundramurthy. Someone can tell your research term. We can search in Scopus.
Sir, please, sir.
Yeah, please. Sir, you can tell, sir, any term in commerce or finance management. Banking.
Yeah.
Some terminology.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah. Please tell me your.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, my area is
some
education. Sir, teachers mental health. Sir, teachers mental health.
Okay. Teachers mental health. Education. Yeah. Without adding any date or anything, we are searching. You can see how many documents. 116. 116 only is coming. Okay, from Scopus. Title, abstract, keyword altogether is coming. So here you can arrange the open access, different types of open access, gold, green, hybrid, like that. And you can also year-wise, you can download. And year-wise, you can download. You can be more years. And authors, who are all the top contributors, you can see, and subject areas that mental health. With review documental type. So subject areas I just see medicine, psychology, social science, nursing, environmental science, engineering, arts and humanities. So it has given. So this is multidisciplinary concept. Yeah. Affiliation, you can see any Arab university there, University of Exeter, Indian universities, Illinois, Chicago. We all will put we all. We'll see any Loyola University, New Orleans, North Carolina. No. Ministry of Education, I don't know which University here, Ministry of Education. We'll click and we'll see that Miami University, University of Nottingham, University of Oxford, Chinese Academy of Health Sciences. Okay. So like that you can see university wise, and you can see the impact also by having citation profile. Impact, you can see that analyze such results. How the growth of the research in that childhood as indexed by this Scopus from 1982, 83, then it has come down, going up, and again from 2004 onwards, it has come down 2007. Now we can see that again it's come down 2013, and again come down 2019. Now we can see 2021, 20 documents indexed in this particular year on Scopus by author, by affiliation. You can get all maps and all. You will see that here also per year by source and document types, pictures also you can get subject area, what we have seen, graph also you can get it. So like that, based on impact, you can also choose this particular article. You can download, you can cite, and you can incorporate in your thesis or dissertation. So all those things you can add to list, everything you can make it. So like that only every database, it follow all such mechanisms and organization arrangements to make accordingly, you can just make it. Okay, that RC ID, how to create. So, any other questions or clarification?
So there is a question regarding National Library, how to extract the file of National Library of IIT Kharagpur.
Yeah, NDLI. Okay, we are also contributor of that National Digital Library, and Alapa University also contributor. So they aggregator actually. They get all bibliographic data and whatever available full text initiatives, the subscription information, all those things all together. That is the effort by this IIT Kharagpur under the direction of Government of India, particularly through the Ministry of Education. That also you can go and see the NDLI, and but you cannot find all the sources. It include everything, each and everything. These are all subject-based scholarly research outcome. This include each and everything. So this DOB is another one site I can show you, and the NDLI also you can see that. And we need to have login also. You have registered. National Digital Library of India, and here also DOB. You can see that you can also contribute your book in this DOB also. They will give accordingly. The only thing that we need to find time and review to for publishers, for researchers, they give a set of rating effective. Support DOB libraries, classification service. For publishers also they given. So find books on DOB. What are the resources they do? Metadata harvesting. Already I talked about you. And accessible policies. NDL. This you can search and you can log in. Here you can see school, engineering, science, humanities, all subject category data sets here also. It try to integrate actually. Sometimes that what I showed you, that data.go.in, that also may be available here. So very big initiatives, single point access they want to give to the Indian resources, and they are having separate COVID-19 research repository also. And there is also keep on they are being updated, and even talks and webinars they download here, and law management. So you can log in, or just like that you can also search to the India, like in this particular day what they added. So there is no depth of any information, and we can get any document whatever we want. Here we are logged in, you can see you are logged in, and you can search languages also, all language Tamil. So I am putting Tamil, or so all Tamil documents to show. So you can see search. For example, psychology. Log with the other like that is coming in Tamil, that interface. So you can find that how many are based on author, based on subject, based on education, based on custom question. So file format, language, all those things they are given, and we can have speech, explanation, and video, audio, pictures, objects, animation, everything. So you can click accordingly. You can see that. Yeah. Why do you feel nostalgia? This is one of the psychological terminology, that nostalgia. They are given here. So like that you can have it actually. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Very helpful session.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Thanks for all your patient listening. Hope that with this we can wind up, and whatever I could make you. What my request is that you please always ask librarians, and they definitely will guide you. There is also their responsibility and duty to help the faculty members, and not only by throwing that appropriate resource, but also to enabling them how to get access all these resources. And particularly for social science researchers and faculty, we can contribute any database, any publisher. So we can integrate our research into that aspect, because everything for the human nature. So thanks, the coordinator, sir. And also
Really,
thanks to.
really very nice, sir. Very practical, sir.
Thank you.
On behalf of the Department of Commerce, I regard my sincere thanks to our honorable professor, Dr. S. Srinivasa Raghavan, sir, for making this session as highly interactive, sir. Really, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Dear participants, thank you all for your valuable presentation, valuable participation, and valuable interaction. Thank you all. Thank you, Professor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so
See you
much,
all.
sir.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Namaste, sir.
फिर मिलेंगे.